Yes, guys, welcome to Chasing Green Arrows this Friday afternoon, and we're going early. We're doing the whole I don't even know what you call it, the daylight saving hour thing. Like
Oh,
Reston
yeah.
Pilgrim has said, I wonder if it's going to be in an hour's time or if it's now. But we're thinking of everyone else, not those in England. So
I didn't realise that's why
we
we were doing it at this time, but fine, it's
I
fine.
think so, because you remember it caught our producer out a few days ago, didn't it?
It did
Last
catch
week.
people out,
And then
yeah.
on Wednesday, when me and Big Man were streaming, again it caught Big Man out.
Oh,
So
did it?
yeah, so he was like, "Oh, can we do midday, the normal slot?" And I was like, "Oh, I can't. I've got a meeting at midday, but I can do one." So I was like, "Okay, maybe we should do midday on Friday," because I was thinking if it's caught our producer out and it's caught Big Man Backer out, it's probably caught 90% of the viewers out, knowing like only 5% are in England, 10% are in England.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm glad we figured that one out finally, so that's good news.
The thing is, don't the clocks change in other countries in like the next few weeks, months anyway?
I think
like,
in America,
I
I think on Sunday night it changes in America. So there's always like this 1 week of lag, but
Well,
I don't really know about the rest
America?
of the world.
It's everywhere in the US.
Yeah, I know it's Eastern for sure, because it goes from 4 back to 5. I guess it's on the West Coast as well. I've never actually been there when there's a time change, so I don't know. But Mike says he's on lurker mode today. You're on my telly. I'll be Harry Pottering around. Have a great show and good luck. Oh, here we go on the TV. I was just told by the producer I look like I've got foundation on today. I don't, but I hope I look all right on your TV there, Mike.
FPL Guna says it's 8 a.m. in Miami. FPL Guna, I'm going to be in Miami on the 12th or 13th of November. So that maybe I organize like I don't know. I put it out there and be like, anyone in Miami want to come for a drink? There's no football on there. It's the international break. But I might see you there, Guna.
Mate, you're always traveling around.
Yeah. This one's so my day job involves quite a bit of travel, which I'm trying to minimize. And since Gaia was born, I've kind of said I can't do
minimize what, the day job or the actual travel?
Both. So yeah, I mean, when it's somewhere like Miami and only a 6-day trip, I'm like, yeah, I can do that one. But like India, I was meant to be there for 3 weeks, and I did a week. I was like, I can do a week maximum. I don't like spending more than a week away from the fam. So I'm going back to Miami again in February, but I'm going to try and maybe take Cam and Gaia with me. But then Cam and I have just been discussing it today about the long haul flight, and I was actually going to get your take, mate, because I remember you saying you timed the flight hours so the kids sleep, but actually that doesn't necessarily work because they're so excited about.
How old's Gaia?
15 months.
Yeah, so you're probably fine.
You reckon?
Is she walking? So she just started walking.
Yeah.
That's the problem, mate, because they just want to walk up and down the aisle until like they eventually get tired enough to sleep. And that was one of the most annoying flights of my life when our kids were that age and just would not sit still. And you're like holding their hands like this, just going up and down the aisle, like slowly recognizing everybody's faces. So, the sleep part should be all right if you can find a night flight, but you'll be in for a couple of hours of walking on the plane.
Good to know, mate. Good to know. I'll keep you guys posted. And I'll keep you all posted in the chat. Good to see so many comments coming in. It might be a few slow adopters to the new time slot, but there's 80 of you there already. So do hit the like button if you're looking forward to today's stream. We're going to be doing fresh off the press, as always. We're going to have our eyes on press conferences. I think Arteta spoke this morning and mentioned that Jesus might actually be out, might not be ready after the international break. So we could get Eddie Nketiah for like more than 2 or 3 games in the Premier League. We could get him for 5 or 6. And if that's the case, I want Nketiah in my team next week without fail for that Burnley home fixture. So we'll keep you up to date on press conferences as it comes in. We'll answer your questions. We'll show my team, we'll show Dean's team, and most importantly, we'll show the Chaser team. We've got a decision to make, a transfer and captaincy, because the community team doesn't have Haaland, which makes it fun. I like that shout. But we're going to have to discuss the non-Haaland options. So we've got a graphic to show you comparing all the best assets that aren't Haaland this week and which one you guys go for. We'll do a poll. You'll vote. Dean and I will give our take as well. This is useful for those that have got Haaland or not, because there might be someone Haaland this week that go, I want a differential captaincy anyway. I mean, personally, Erling Haaland versus Bournemouth at home after no Carabao Cup tie, yeah, I'm going to go there. But maybe you guys want to play a little bit differently. So let's kick us off, I think, with our fresh off the press and get straight into it, shall we?
Yeah, let's go for it, mate. Yeah, so in terms of fresh off the press, it's obviously very early on a Friday to be looking at team news. So we don't have the usual information that we would usually have for this segment of the show. But I'm going to go through some big games and we'll pick out a few situations as we go along. And I've got a few stats that might help us make up for the lack of actual team news along the way. The first game of the weekend is obviously Fulham against Man United, a game I will be at. And
Nice.
of course, like Fulham have got a chance of winning this game, but
They're favourites.
I don't know about that. Man United have lost 5 of their 10 Premier League games this season. It's their most defeats at this stage of a top flight season since like 1986. So like this is a big deal. Like this mess that United are in. 8 defeats from 15 in all competitions. I mean, I think that goes back to like the 70s when they were that bad. The thing is, United do well at Fulham. They've won their last 6 at Craven Cottage. I'll be honest, I'm not sure that matters. I'm not sure how much the past matters anymore with Man United.
Different managers, different tactics, both teams playing different types of
fear
football.
factor, you know, like I don't think you're scared of Man United anymore. But United do sometimes win ugly in games like this. When they need to dig out a win,
late goals.
They've quite often done it. Yeah,
they did last season. Was it Garnacho, the late goal at Fulham?
Garnacho, just before the World Cup last season.
That's it. And Fulham were the better team.
Oh, we should have beaten them that day. And Garnacho came on, scored a last-minute winner. Unbelievable scenes in Man United in that day. Big moment for Garnacho in his United career. But United got the job done. Look, it's Fulham's lack of goal threat, really, that ruins a great chance to make the most of this moment that Man United are in. I think someone will win 1-0. I just don't know which side it will be. There's not going to be a lot in this game.
There's someone Harry Maguire in their squad, and they're like, do I start him over, say, Gabriel? I think Maguire is not a bad start this week. There's a chance there's a clean sheet, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, I've got Onana in my team, and I'll probably start him, to be honest. I mean, I hope that he concedes a goal, but I can't bank on Fulham scoring at the moment. Casemiro and Varane expected to be out for Man United, but Amrabat, Fernandes, Haaland, Rashford were all on the bench in midweek, and they will all start the game against Fulham. And all 4 of those have to prove a point as we get into this fixture. Like, this is a really big game for those guys. There were some fans crying out for the undroppables to be dropped, Bruno and Rashford. Well, they were left out of the team, and it didn't make much difference, did it? So
it was equally as bad against the Newcastle B team. What do you reckon, though, Dean? Do you sell them in FPL? Like, I've been saying you sell Bruno and Rashford every week, but it's Fulham and then Luton. I still think I sell them, but it is Fulham and Luton.
Would you? Yeah, I wouldn't sell right now, to be honest. I mean, it's very Fulhamish to lose a game like this. Yeah. We're doing okay. I mean, we're not far off really points-wise where we were last season, but in terms of overall performances, it's not quite there. Kenny Tete is probably not going to be playing on the right side of the defence, which always makes a bit of a difference to Fulham. So I don't think, if I had Bruno or Rashford, I think I would be keeping them for this game week. It's a really, really difficult one to call because you do expect Man United to lose because of the mess that they've been in. And even when they were winning games, they had that 3-game win streak. They weren't convincing in any of it. They're not a good team. They're just not. And they are absolutely flat. But I think it probably helps them that they're not at Old Trafford. Like, they're not playing well at all at Old Trafford. And away from home, they're a little bit better. They're not great, but they're a little bit better. So, yeah, Haaland's the one I'm probably most scared about. I think Haaland's going to get his first Premier League goal.
I've had that punt on Haaland a few weeks ago and it didn't pay off, but he has looked good in glimpses. The fear with Haaland from an FPL perspective, if he's not playing well, he will come off at 60, potentially just before 60, and it's the one-pointer. Dean, you're on this show because you're an FPL enthusiast, but also because you're a journo, and you're our transfer expert. And for those that don't know, in and around the transfer window, this show becomes 15, 20 minutes of transfers and 40 minutes of FPL. With your insight and your contacts, what do you think to Ten Hag? How long might he have? Have United been in conversation, or are they looking at plan Bs, or is it just the standard rumour mill at Man United and actually he's fine, but lose a couple more games and then maybe you start talking?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing substantial going on here. Like United aren't searching for a new manager at this moment in time. Like that's just not true. And if United pick up the wins, I mean, they've got Fulham, Copenhagen, Luton. Obviously, if you're not winning those games, if you lost all 3 of those games, you deserve to be sacked. So that changes everything. But I think United expect to come through that spell of games with like their heads above water and like an opportunity to move forward. But United have got a tough run after that because they've got Newcastle, Chelsea. And I think I'm just trying to look up the date of this game. Yeah, they go to Liverpool just before Christmas, Man United. That is the game that has kind of been pointed out to me as like, let's see where United are by the time we get to that Liverpool game. Because United go to Anfield and get a pasting at Anfield, and they've already been in continued bad form, could be out of the Champions League at that point. If they go to Anfield and get a drubbing, like we've seen before, that could be significant. So I'd say, yeah, that right now, like if United do lose to Fulham at the weekend, I don't think Ten Hag loses his job. If they lose to United, Copenhagen and Luton, I think he probably will lose his job. But if he keeps his head above water, and let's see how he gets through that next stack of games. There's no point in changing manager, really. I mean, it's just the same thing over and over again. What we should have learned here is that it doesn't make a difference who the manager is. They're all equally as good or bad as each other. You could have just kept one manager throughout the last decade, and we'd probably still be in about the same situation we are now. Unfortunately, you can't.
Not Ragnick.
No, maybe not Ragnick. No. You can't sack players, but really because of the contracts they're on. But if you could, United, I think, would sack about 15 players right now because Martial's rubbish. Dalot's pretty rubbish.
Sancho's
gone. Anthony is useless. Mason Mount, I don't know what Mason Mount does anymore. Like, not sure what the point. You could go through the squad, mate, and just get rid of them one by one. But there we are. Anyway, I'm going to move on quickly. Man City play against Bournemouth. Good luck to you if you're going without Haaland this game week. Haaland has scored 47 goals in 45 Premier League appearances. Bournemouth haven't scored that many as a team since the start of last season. Bournemouth have faced the second most goal attempts in the Premier League so far this season. Man City have not lost a Premier League game when Rodri has started. And every time Rodri started a game this season, they've won. Mate, I think Haaland goals, Man City win. I'm thinking 4 here. 4 is the number that I've kind of got in my head. A 4-0 or a 4-1 to Man City is how I see this one going.
The fixture on the midweek as well. Like City never get a week on the training ground. They've just had a week on the training ground, and Bournemouth had to do 90 minutes against Liverpool on Wednesday night. I'm just looking at the starting 11 from that team. There's a few changes, but there's probably 7 or 8 that will start again, like Semenyo, Christie, Solanke, the centre backs. Billing started. So these guys aren't used to playing Wednesday, Saturday or Wednesday, Sunday, and they're going to have to as well. So City are going to blow them away, I think.
Oh, mate, I'll be very surprised if they didn't. I really would be surprised if United aren't blowing anyone away. City don't blow Bournemouth away. So, yeah, sorry if you just got rid of Haaland and you're scrambling to get him back in, but we did warn you. That was a silly idea in the first place. The Chasers no idea what you lot were on last week. But, yeah, there's not really anything significant to say beyond that. I think that got City assets. You're laughing for this one.
Yeah, I think off the back of that chat, I'm keen to know who you guys are all captaining. There's 180 of you watching right now. Let's do a poll. Who are you captaining this game week? And we're going to give you a couple of options. So are you captaining Haaland? Are you captaining Salah? Are you captaining... We're gonna put Son's name out there. We'll do Haaland, Salah, Son, and no, let's not do Son. We'll do Haaland, Alvarez, Salah, Darwin. We're going to stick with Man City and Liverpool, and we're going to give you 2 options in both those fixtures. Because genuinely, if I was going against Haaland, we'll talk more about this later. I'll save it, actually. I like Darwin over Salah this week, but I'll speak why later. So who are we going? There's a poll there. This isn't for the community team. We'll do that poll later. This is who you are going to captain. Let's look at the numbers, because I think it's going to be a very high percentage Haaland this week.
Yeah, I think so. And like you say, like if you haven't got Haaland but you've got Alvarez, then at least that's one way you can kind of make up for that moment. So that's certainly interesting. That poll up, I'm just going to vote for it myself.
Well, Michael says if he had Darwin, he would captain him. And yeah, I think there's an argument if you are going against Haaland that it's Darwin over Salah. But I still think it's just a simple Haaland one, as G Wiz says. Haaland for me.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Right, let's whiz through a few more fixtures. Newcastle play against Arsenal. Found an interesting stat around this one, actually. Arsenal have kept 30 clean sheets against Newcastle, the most one side is kept against another team in the Premier League's history.
Ooh.
Now, again, I don't know what I believe in historically, but like that is a huge stat that they've kept 30 clean sheets against Newcastle.
Is that
crazy?
Home and away collectively, I guess. A lot of them would have been at home, but still, I've got a lot of managers have got a big decision this week over: do they start Gabriel or do they start someone like a Taylor, who's got Taylor plays? So Burnley have got Palace at home.
Yeah,
Gabriel's on the road. The clean sheet odds of Gabriel keeping a clean sheet, according to the bookies, are 39%. So. And that's because Arsenal are an elite defence. Like, sure, everyone backs Newcastle to score at St James's Park, but we can't forget, I know in the week they were poor against West Ham, but I think that was Gabriel and Kivior.
I mean, it wasn't their first choice 11. They left a few people out. Just looking at what Arsenal have done recently defensively. Yeah, obviously kept clean sheets at home against Sheffield United and Man City, but on their travels, Arsenal not been as tight. Let's put it that way. There was the Brentford game when they managed to keep a clean sheet, and Everton before that. But yeah, it's going to be tough to keep this Newcastle team out. So I'm not sure I see that record being made any stronger. But I thought it was a really interesting point of view. Obviously, Nketiah is somebody to consider. Didn't do too well midweek when he was given another start. So I think cut a bit of a frustrated figure there.
Did he start in the week, Nketiah?
I think so, didn't he?
I don't know. No, I thought it was Havertz number 9. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I checked the team used before the game. I mean, I didn't. Let me just check that.
Well, it's funny because I was watching the other game and I flicked in between and they talked about how Nketiah was frustrated. Yeah, Nketiah did start. Yeah.
Did he? So what?
Yeah.
That might change things.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the lineups I saw had Havertz as the number 9. Havertz did start, but obviously in midfield. Yeah. All right. My bad.
Yeah. No. As I was going through and they said Nketiah had just come off and they said, he's been a completely frustrated figure tonight.
Really?
Not enjoyed anything like the day that he had the other day. And I think that's kind of the story of Nketiah, isn't it? Like, he's not there, he's like there. And that's still like extraordinarily high in like the average person terms. But this is the thing that Arsenal fans, they just can't fully trust Eddie Nketiah. So yeah, I think if I was going to look for a forward for that game, I'm probably going on the Newcastle side of things rather than the Arsenal. But there you go.
Isak's out still, so Wilson. If you want to go on Wilson for a few weeks, like you look good. You look good there for starts.
Right, target Luton. Luton versus Liverpool this weekend.
It's going to be a big one, isn't it? It's going to be another big scoreline.
Mo Salah has been involved in 32 Premier League goals in 2023. So in this calendar year, Salah has been involved in 32 goals, 20 of them actual goals, 12 of them assists. Only Erling Haaland tops him, and Haaland's got one more. He's got one more goal involvement. He's on 33. So that's how good Salah's actual output has been across this year. So at a time when we all think that Salah's dipped, and maybe he has, maybe he's playing differently, whatever it is, his numbers aren't. Like, his numbers are absolutely brilliant. And Luton have not kept a clean sheet yet. Only Spurs have attempted more shots in the Premier League this season than Liverpool. So this could add up to an absolute cricket score. I don't trust Luton at all. Obviously, they are scoring goals, but they're coming late on in games and often like a consolation or maybe getting themselves something. But yeah, in terms of injury news, Luis Diaz, not injury news, but obviously he's got personal issues at the moment. It's a late decision on him, which will be left down to him. I doubt he'll play, to be honest. I don't really see the need to put him into that situation, and unless he wants it. But Darwin, obviously, the big contender for a place in all of our teams at the moment. Yeah. We saw both sides of Darwin, didn't we, in midweek? He takes the loose touch, and all the Bournemouth fans are like, "Hey!" And he cuts back inside and smashes it straight in the top corner. They're like, "Oh!" That is literally the two sides of the player.
He is the definition of raw, of chaos, of exciting. Like, he's got it. He is that striker, and because of that, he's going to be a frustrated FPL. He'll frustrate FPL managers, as I think we've seen to date, but he'll also get some massive hauls. And when the fixtures are right, and when you know he's getting minutes, he is, and I've said it since day one, because the stats don't lie, he's a big chance hog. When he's in that Liverpool team, the amount of big chances that fall his way, so high. Like he gets Haaland sorts of numbers in terms of underlyings. The conversion rate has never been as good as Haaland's, but if he's on a good spell, you want him in your team. Like I don't think we're going to jump off a Haaland or an Ollie Watkins to get to Darwin, but there will be managers out there looking at how they can change their formation from a 3-5-2 to a 3-4-3, and instead of having, say, a Bowen or a Matoma, yes, they're a little bit cheaper. Matoma, Diaby price point at around 6.5. Can you find the extra money, sell a Matoma down to a Palmer or even lower and a Canberra at 4.4 and somehow get a Darwin in? And I think I'll be looking at that probably not for the next couple of weeks as much as because I can't get him this week, but I think it's game week 14. His run's amazing. So he plays Luton, then Brentford, then Man City. But from 14 onwards, Fulham at home, Sheffield United away, Palace away. Those 3 games, I kind of want Darwin in. So watch this space.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to wrap up the fixtures, another team to target this season, obviously, is Sheffield United. They've made the worst start after 10 games we've ever seen in Premier League history. They've got
even worse than Derby.
They got 1 point. Yeah, goal difference of -22. We haven't seen anything this bad before. Heckingbottom himself has lost 16 of his 20 Premier League games he's ever had in charge as a manager.
How's he still in a job?
I don't know how this guy's in charge of. I mean, they're going to have to change it soon just to give themselves some sort of hope, because you just need some sort of impact on this team. Obviously, they got Wolves. So, question for you, really. Pedro Neto now out with a hamstring injury. He was the guy that we probably would have gone to for a Wolves asset. If you were looking to target this terrible Sheffield United team, who would you be looking at as a guy?
I mean, Hwang is cheaper and still has been putting up great numbers. The only thing is without Pedro Neto, what does that Wolves attacking lineup look like? And does it function the same way? Because Kuna, Neto and Hwang was a really good 3 that was working well. You take the key cog out of that, and I wonder for Hwang's output, you could just go down to a 5 million Dingra, or I prefer 5 million Palmer. Onpen's playing as Chelsea's best attacker, and you just go long term, this will be the 5 million asset to hold, rather than jumping on a Hwang for the fixture, but then going in a couple of weeks' time, who do I want? That's not really a position you want to play around with the transfers. You want to set and forget 5 million midfielder. So I'd probably just go Palmer for the fact he plays for a good team. Yes, they've got bad fixtures, but they will get good fixtures at some point, and he's on pens and he's playing. We've got a super chat, mate. Love that from Zubin. I don't know if we recognise Zubin's name. Is he a lurker?
I'm not sure. Zubin, let us know, mate. Where have you been? 100. I thought you had sent us £179 then. I was like, blimey, we're off.
What currency is that? Do we know that symbol?
I have not seen that before.
Oh, is it rupees?
Not sure.
Is it rupees? Might be rupees. I think that's about, if it's rupees, it's about rupees, 1 to 40, 50. So yeah, mate, that's £3-4. Thanks, Zubin.
That's very kind, very kind. Right, it's you take the question, mate. You're probably best equipped to answer it.
Start one of Nketiah or Palmer. There's a few with that dilemma, and one of Gabriel Taylor. Wow, they are the 2 big decisions. I tell you what, Zubin, we'll do a poll. And I'll give my take. So I'll let you know who I'm voting for. So we'll just do a poll for Nketiah or Palmer. And then we'll do another poll for Gabriel or Taylor, because I also want to know the answers to certainly the second question. So first poll, should you start Nketiah or Palmer? We'll see what the chat says. Personally, I'd go Nketiah because he's fresh off a hat-trick. I know he played in the week and blanked, but fresh off a hat-trick in the Premier League. He's got a tough fixture, but at Chelsea against Spurs, Palmer does have the penalty appeal. I still think I'd go Nketiah. But this is going to be a really close vote. So let us know where you're voting. I expect this will be 60-40.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. More Nketiah. Where will you vote here, Dean?
I vote Palmer, mate. I did. Yeah. I mean, he was Chelsea's best player in midweek.
Yeah. So the 4th game in a row he was as well.
I'm going to say, like, he is their best player, and he's the penalty taker. He's definitely starting. Like, obviously, it's not a great fixture for him. I saw a quote earlier. I didn't actually read the piece, so it might be rubbish. But Paul Merson had done a take on the game saying, "I can't see Spurs beating Chelsea."
Oh, really?
What? Why? Why did you not see that? That seems a very strange reading of the game to have. Look, I don't think Tottenham's bubble will burst soon, because they're not they're not Man City. Like they're not going to go like continue this incredible rate. But if you weigh out what you've seen from Tottenham, what you've seen from Chelsea, there's no way that you could favour Chelsea going into that game.
Yeah, and I agree. And look, it's 53-47. As you've said, Palmer, a few have clicked it too. So, yeah, I mean, that's where we're at with the super chat question. But thank you for asking the question, mate. I really appreciate the support of the channel, Zubin.
That's a harsh take from Resting Pilgrim.
What's he said?
And that's why Paul Merson was a losing gambler. We can't go down.
Everyone's a losing gambler.
Yeah, that's true. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here right now if my Vegas bets had paid off once upon a time.
Gabriel versus Taylor. G-Wiz has hit us straight away with the clean sheet odds. And yeah, I'd seen those odds. I think I actually tweeted them, but I think I maybe tweeted them wrong because I don't know if I got the same odds as you G-Wiz. I think I said 42.39. I meant 32.29. Oops. But what we're seeing here is Taylor's got a slightly higher percentage chance of a clean sheet. So look, we'll ask the chat, would you start Taylor or Gabriel? We'll do a poll now. The difference between those odds is, yes, there's 2% in it. But what about the bonus points? What about the assists? What about the goals? I would think Gabriel was a high chance of a goal, a high chance of bonus points, sure, probably lower chance of assists. But with that in mind, it's a complete 50-50 call. I'm still not sure where I'm going. I was verging on Taylor, and then I saw that Eze's fit to be in the squad. I don't think Eze will start, but if Eze plays, let's say Roy Hodgson said Eze was starting, I'd go Gabriel. Because if Eze starts, Palace score, I think. But if Eze doesn't start, then Taylor's got a chance of a clean sheet. So this is a real 50-50 one. I perhaps will go for Gabriel just in the hope that there's a big header there from a set piece, and it's got a slightly higher ceiling. Yeah. So I'm going to vote Gabriel, but currently in my team, it is Taylor. So sorry, I can't give you a better answer, mate. Dean, what are you thinking?
I went Gabriel. Yeah, I went Gabriel on that one. He's got 69% at the moment. Yeah, it's toss of a coin, isn't it? We really can't judge on that one. We've got so many calls wrong so far this season between us, everyone on this show, commenters and us. That it's been such a hard season to call. Happy Human says Gabriel will start 100%.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Starts.
Yeah, I think that's a
fair Taylor, but Taylor starts. And look, the simple question is, do Palace score? And I don't know. I'm going to look at some of the XG numbers for Palace in the last few games, but from what I've seen, they look like they've been shot shy. It was almost a handball from O for the late consolation versus Spurs. But look, let's move on. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for everyone watching. I'd love to get to 100 likes, so do hit the like button, guys. That's always our target. Like, can we get to 100 likes by 45 minutes in? Is going to be today's target. So please do hit the like button. I can see some of you doing it as we speak. And also, obviously, if you're not already subscribed. But look, I think it's probably about time because we've got to do some captaincy chat. But before that, let's show my team, Dean's team. Then we'll talk outside of the Haaland circle and look at some of the big names away from Haaland if you want a differential punt this week. And then we will go to the community team. Love that. Okay, guys, next up, we have got our teams. Here we go. This is Batici's Babes. Batici's Babes is back. Yeah, I said I got Taylor instead of Gabriel, didn't I?
Yeah.
For a second, and it might be changed. That Eze coming off the bench could swing it.
Nice. Yeah.
This is my wildcard team that I'm super happy with last week. There's 0.0 in the bank, as is often the case on wildcard.
Yeah.
I always think with wildcard, should we just lie to ourselves and say you've actually got 0.5 less than you have, and just will you always keep that point, or even 0.1 in the bank, and we'll just work, because it's so valuable to have. Because now, if I needed to make a transfer, I would only be able to go down, not up. Leo is the same team as me. Congrats, Leo is good. What's your rank? Let me know your rank. If our rank is the same, then it means we've done the same move all season. My rank, I'm putting it in the chat, is 280k. If Leo is good, comes in with the same rank, that's going to be hilarious.
Surely not.
So yeah, I think my moves this week are pretty simple. It's no move. It's roll the transfer. It's then look at next week. Do I want to get Nketiah in? And if I did that, I'd be changing formation because I can't see myself selling Watkins ahead of Fulham at home. But who knows? Every week something happens. It could be an injury, it could be a suspension to one of those players. But yeah, pretty happy, pretty set. Captaincy for me is an easy decision this week. Oh yeah, let us know, guys. Let us all know in the chat what rank you're on. Let's see who's the highest ranked person in the chat. We'll also bring up our mini league, our CGA mini league, and see who's top of that and see what rank they're on. I'll have a look at that when Dean's talking through his team. But yeah, at the moment, Dean, I'm fairly happy. Any weaknesses you see in my team or any directions you think I should be moving towards?
No, I don't think you've got any weaknesses. I mean, you'd obviously looked ahead at what your wild card was going to be doing right now, so you haven't been caught out on something silly like not having Haaland or something. Nice that you've also got Saka and Salah in to back up. Watkins, you'd expect him to deliver. I think they're really well set up, to be honest, mate. Even the fact you've got Gabriel as a sub to actually potentially come into the team and a decision to make like that's a good place to be. Just to have someone, and then Obama, just a dead one on your bench to open things up in your actual team. Yeah, you were well set here, mate. And I think you're probably on course for another good week.
Now, the top of our mini league is a team called the Red Devils. It's from Ollie. He scored 100 last week, and his overall rank, he wildcarded last week, same as me. His overall rank is 3K in the world. So if you're in the chat, Ollie, let us know. His wildcard included pretty much the same backline as me. He had Maguire instead of Branthwaite. He's got Saka and Salah and Son and Diaby. So the same midfield as me, but instead of Matoma, he went Adingra for 5 million. That gave him the money to have Nketiah instead of my Mabama. So he had Nketiah and Diaby points as his kind of two nice enablers in there. The goalkeepers, the backline, identical. 3 different changes for me. So he's got Maguire instead of Branthwaite. He's got Adingra instead of Matoma. And he's got Nketiah instead of Mabama. So he's actually must have a little bit of money in the bank as well. Or maybe he's just got a lower team value. But yeah, 3K in the world. Congrats, Ollie. Oh, he's a Man United fan. Oh, I might have to move on from the praise. So yeah, that's where we're at. Well played. And I can see there's a few good ranks coming out in the chat as well. Laura says her rank is at 1K.
Laura, I just saw that.
Hell, in our mini league, you'll be top. We can still let you in. We'll put the code on the bottom of the screen. If you're not already in our mini league, Laura's dad is 100. Laura,
what?
Is your dad really 100 and you're 1K? I need some proof. Get in our mini league and we'll bring
Laura
up
new to the chat. I don't even recognize Laura. I'm sure I'd recognize Laura Hollywood's name, but
cool name.
Laura, you've been a lurker and you've been secretly plotting your way to winning this thing. Let us know.
Laura, get your dad in the mini league as well. The code is
on the show.
7PQ0X. Laura, let's see. I hope you're legit. And if you are, we'll be giving you a shout out next Friday when Dean and I check the ranks and go, oh, Laura's top of our mini league because she's 1K in the world, or Laura's dad's there. So can't wait to see that. And yeah, well played. Well played indeed. Dean, let's have a look at your team. You made any moves yet?
I haven't made any moves yet, but I think judging by those ranks, I would definitely be bottom. I'm like 1.6K or 1.6 mil or something. I'm way down. I need a good week. Haven't used my wild card though, obviously. So a lot of people have wild carded, whereas I haven't. So I've got that up my sleeve for a later date. I'd be honest, I don't like my team at all right now. I don't like, obviously, Gusto now that Reece James is back. And even when last week there was both Reece James and Gusto available, neither of them played. So even less hope in Gusto actually playing. I don't really want Maddison and Son for too much longer. That's not something I like. Martinelli, I'm not convinced about points-wise. I've got a dilemma as to even who's my 11th player because Archer, Andreas, Baldock, all useless, and Udogie probably not playing. So any other time I'd be wild carding because this team is a bit of a dead team at the moment. I'm just hoping that by not flaking it around that I can get in. Alice says start Udogie. Yeah, I mean, this isn't my lineup. I haven't tinkered with this.
He's 50-50, isn't he, to start Udogie? So you could always take the gamble because he's probably either starts or doesn't.
I will take that gamble. Exactly that. I will take the gamble. And I'm tempted to start Andreas instead of Archer.
I like that against his old club. And Archer didn't start for Sheffield United last week. He played Brewster as the number 9, didn't he? So yeah, I like the Andreas. And you're there. You're there at
I'm
Craven
there.
Cottage.
If Andreas was to get that one
Narrative.
goal, then who knows? Hazel says, Dean, your team was a shambles. Yeah, well,
It's
so
not.
far.
I actually don't mind it, and I think the Madison Song combo is a bit of a differential now. And I would be keeping Mads long term if I had him like you have. And I think Martinelli. We've all got Saka in our team, so why aren't we allowed Martinelli? Like, there's not much between them.
Yeah, I just think like it doesn't take too much for this team to bang. Like, and if I can get through, as I say, without wildcarding right now, then at a later date, I might give myself an upper hand. Like,
Yeah.
I've had
Well,
a
you
bad
will.
season.
There's going to be blanks and doubles. Game week 18 is a big blank game week for Brentford and Man City. And then there'll be doubles in 20 when Man City have a great double. And then Liverpool might get a double in 24. Like, you can prep all those doubles if you wildcard in game week 19.
Yeah.
And I'd be tempted this week either to just, you start Adoji instead of Gusto and you start Andreas instead of Archer.
What about
and
my
you just roll
transfer?
and you just roll your
Roll it.
transfer, and then next week you can then go, I'm going to get rid of some dead wood, but I can
Yeah.
be creative with it, because otherwise each week you're just going dead wood for slightly better than dead wood. Like, you could go Gusto
Absolutely.
to Taylor, but is Taylor someone you need to use a
Or
transfer on long term?
No, that's a good point. Yeah. No, I like that. I think I'm happy to do that at the moment. Like, as I say, I'm kind of just a bit like Man United. I'm trying to keep my head above water during a crisis, and just hoping I can stay on the coattails, because I know that this team isn't that far off.
Yeah.
If you just look at like the top 6, for example, take Archer out of that, they've all got potential to bang this week.
Yeah.
And then I'm there. I'm fine.
You got Alvarez and Haaland. Like,
Yeah.
that is a huge win this week, I think, having both those players. Most have got one or the other. If you've gone without Haaland, you've all got Alvarez. Otherwise, we've pretty much just got Haaland because everyone's on Watkins. So
Yeah.
I think having both, if City are going to go win 5-0, and we think they have a chance of doing that, having both, arguably Alvarez is the second or third best captaincy option this week. In fact, let's look at the captaincy options away from Haaland, shall we? Let's show them, because we're going to do a poll here. And this is actually going to be the poll for the community team, because I'm pretty sure in the community, actually, no, we can't poll it yet, because in the community team, I don't think we've got Darwin. But we do have Salah, Alvarez, Watkins, and Son. And these are great options this week. Like, I genuinely think if you're going against Haaland, take a punt on Alvarez or Darwin, because they'll be like, yes, most will go Salah, but go Darwin or Alvarez, because Salah played 90 minutes in the week. Darwin only played 20. Alvarez didn't play any. Salah did blank in the week. Darwin's probably in the form of his Liverpool career. I know he's not been banging for long, but he's been so inconsistent.
Yeah.
I like these picks. What do you reckon?
Yeah, totally. So, well, if I was to rank them, which being a Ranks FC owner, I should probably do. Salah would be my captain if I was outside of Haaland this week, and then outside of that would be Alvarez. That would be my 1 and 2. Then I go Darwin. Then I would go Watkins, and Son would be my last one. That's where I would be on it. But Watkins and Son, I mean, toss of a coin stuff, really. But yeah, I think Salah, I just think that Luton fixture is too good to avoid. Laura's just revealed that she's a Luton fan.
Amazing.
So she's doing a better season than her actual team are. So well done,
She
Laura.
must have gone with no Luton assets. You didn't get excited, Laura, and go, Luton are in FPL for the first time ever. I can pick Luton players. I'm going to go triple Luton attack.
Clearly has not done that, no. But yeah, Sean's asking what the mini league code is. Have you got it to hand?
I think it was at the
across the bottom.
Yeah,
we'll stick it back across the bottom,
ago.
Sean. Keep your eye on the screen, and we'll run the mini league code back across the bottom. We do need to shut this thing soon, because once we got stung on this and we started getting some late candidates who...
we gave away a PS5, didn't we?
We gave away a PS5 in the first season, and it was nicked by someone who joined the league like 1 week before the end of the season. Absolute shambles, which I wasn't happy with at all. But there you go. That was our own fault.
Look at the goals and assists on some of these guys. Like, when we look at Salah, he's been a bit of a provider this season. He's got the 4 assists. Alvarez has 5. Ollie Watkins has way more assists than goals, which is very rare for him. Remember, he's not on penalties anymore. But Son, as greedy as ever, and Son did get quite a few assists when he was playing alongside Harry Kane. But now it's all about Son, this team. And these are numbers that you might have expected from Kane in a previous season. I know towards the end of Kane's career at Spurs, he got a ton of assists. But back in the day, Kane was all about these sorts of numbers. An 8-to-1
Yeah.
ratio would be quite common. So there's great options this season, and these players on screen now are half the reason why there is no clear and obvious template this season. And it's because rather than having a pool of 17 to 20 good players to pick, we've now got a pool of 25 to 30 really good FPL assets to pick each week. And because of that, there's so much variation in teams, which is such a win. Like, so many wildcarded, yeah, they went Watkins and Haaland, but so many that didn't might have Alvarez and Darwin. And there's no right or wrong answer with all of these guys. This week, I think you could punt on Alvarez, Darwin, Salah. I probably wouldn't be punting on Watkins because he's away from home. I prefer him at home.
Yeah.
And same with Son. I just don't know. Chelsea maybe turn up and it's tricky. But given the fixtures Alvarez, Darwin, and Salah have, all three are legit options.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. So Shant's asking me why I don't switch Maddison and Archer to Soboslai and Darwin.
Oh, can you do that for 4.8? Is that the right money?
Let's try it. Let's try it right now, live on the show. Replace Maddison.
You do love Soboslai.
I do. And I've talked about him since game one, saying, "Can I get this guy in?"
You'd have triple Liverpool attack for Luton. That could be fun.
I would have.
Like the underlying numbers for Liverpool attack at the moment are so good. Like, they are a little bit low key, the best attack in the league at the moment. Like, that's so good.
Yeah, so I can't do it because I can't afford to get to Darwin. I've got with this, I've got 5.4 in the bank, and Darwin is out of my league.
Yeah.
So there's, I mean, Morris is, I think, the best one I can get in. Let me see if there's anyone better.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the idea of going Darwin, and Dean going Darwin would be a nice narrative after giving him some stick.
Imagine at the end of this season, my front lines: Nicholas Jackson, Darwin, and Morris. That all the three that I've batted.
Oh, that would be brilliant, guys! Thank you so much for all your suggestions. We're going to move on to the chaser team, and then we get to vote for our non-Haaland captain. The reason we've not done the vote already on the guys that we just showed on screen was because Darwin was on there. But Darwin might be part of the chaser team once we've made a transfer, if you guys want to make a transfer. So CH, usually in the chat, has got good options for what we should poll. So CH, do let us know. But we need to figure out the player we're going to sell. To do that, or if we're rolling, to do that, let's figure out who we're going to bench this week. So let's just look at the fixtures. I think from the three defenders, let's assume Branthwaite is benched, and then it will be either Gabriel or Trippier. So we don't need to worry about that just yet. We're probably not going to make a defensive transfer. The midfield five, do we want to hold Gordon, or do we want to? We'd probably be benching Gordon this week, I'd have thought. I'd think you're going to start Wilson over Gordon, and one of those guys has to be benched. So with that in mind, do we want to make a transfer this week? Yes or no? And if we do, where would we make it? Because there might be some that want to go Wilson to Darwin, maybe. But CH has said the first poll needs to be, do we roll or do we make a transfer? So guys, let's do that poll and then we can figure that one out. And then if you want to make a transfer, we will poll who you want to sell. And we'll give Gordon as an option, Wilson as an option. We will give maybe Trippier as an option. God, I'm anti-Newcastle today.
Oh, yeah. The best team around. Do we want to make a transfer this week? The poll is now up.
I'm going to vote. Are you going to vote yes or no, Dean?
I voted no.
Oh, did you? I think I might have to. I know our producer probably wants us to. He's a big. He likes Darwin, our producer, doesn't he? So he's probably going to be DMing me on WhatsApp now, going vote yes because I want to get Darwin in. But the producer has conceded his team for you guys to play with. So even if he wants Darwin, doesn't mean you guys have to have him. So I'm going to vote yes because I secretly want the producer to have his favorite player in.
Yeah, I mean, yes is just edging it at the moment. We've got 53% on a yes. We've only got 50 votes though. So come on, get some more votes. And we like to stop at 100 votes. Don't know if we're going to get as high as that on this one. But why do people not vote, by the way? Is it because you're watching on TV? Like, why is it that not enough people vote? We've got 300 people watching. So we can definitely get some more votes in.
Yeah, to be honest, we want to get to, maybe, should we say 80 votes we close it? Usually we
close it. I mean, the more votes we're getting, the more it's going in favour of yes anyway at the moment. So like the gap has opened up a little bit. It looks like we are going to be making a transfer at the moment.
Leal says Foden or Saka. Okay. Would we want a punt away from Arsenal given the fixture next week? Welcome in some chaos, says Pete. Mr. T says TV and phone. Love that. It's a definite roll, says Richard. Guys, we've got to 80 votes and it's 54-46. We'll give it another minute and give Noah right, but I'd love to close it at 100 votes. I'm just not confident there's going to be 19 of you out there to
We
hit
might.
the button. How did the Chaser team do last week? Says CH. We didn't actually. I don't think we showed. I think we showed that on Monday's show how the Chase team did. But I can tell you right now because I've got the mini league up in front of me for the Chasers. The Chaser 11 got 65 points. They captained Salah. They obviously wildcard. We benched 12 points, guys. We benched Branthwaite with his 8 points. We did have Callum Wilson's 13 though. And obviously Salah captaincy came in with a 16. Son's 10 was nice. Trippier blanking is a bit rubbish because we've allocated so much money there. And I do wonder if you do want to make a transfer, if getting the money out of Trippier to then use next week on, say, an extra, I don't know, Arsenal attacker or whoever might be someone you're looking at. Although money should never be an issue when you've sold Haaland. Okay, 99 votes, 57% do want to make a transfer. So with that in mind, we need suggestions, guys. Sus Hunt has said Wilson to Darwin. I think we're going to have to poll who we... Okay, yeah. No, let's give us your suggestions in the chat and we'll take the top 3 or 4 suggestions that we see most reoccurring and poll them. So at the moment, Wilson to Darwin feels like a suggestion. I've seen Saka to Foden as a suggestion in the chat. We'll figure out maybe you want to sell Gordon. Chat, who do you want to transfer, says CH. Watkins to Darwin is a suggestion. The ones we see the most we'll put in the poll. Wilson to Darwin, I've seen again. Saka out, in my opinion. I see Wilson scoring, says Ellis. Jordan Ayew in, says Matt. Michael wants Watkins to Darwin. Sebastian wants Wilson to Darwin. Let's play 3-4-3, says Luke. I mean, currently it would be a 3-4-3 with the team we can see on screen.
Yeah.
Gordon to Rodri. Interesting. Wilson to Darwin a lot. Okay, we can lock in that one of those moves will be, or one of the polls will be Wilson to Darwin. Matoma to Mbomo. That's only seen that once. There's been a few that have said Saka out. To Doku, I've seen Saka out. To Foden. So let's do another one. Bowden to Kudos. We haven't got Bowen. Right, we're going to do Wilson to Darwin and Saka to... We'll put question mark. We'll put Saka to question mark because a few have said Doku, Hwang, Foden. So it feels like they're the only 2 options. CH has said Watkins, Wilson, Gordon, Saka. No, CH, we're doing combinations to vote for, not random players. So we need the combinations. So one poll option is going to say, so the question will be, what transfer shall we make this week? Option 1 is Watkins to Darwin. Option 2 is Saka to question mark. And then we'd do a poll if that one won it. And then option 3, I think we'll do Gordon to question mark. We haven't missed a step, CH. If we just do who you want out, that's where we went wrong when we built the wild card, I think. If you give that step, loads of people might say they want Gordon out, and then actually you give them the options for Gordon, none of them are great, and people are like, I don't want to vote for any of them, I don't want that player. So I think we need to see the scenario and the combination in the poll. I'm so into this, clearly, aren't I? Guys, if you're enjoying the show, let's get to 100 likes. Come on. We're
not there yet.
Not there, mate. Devastate. And we've only had 1 super chat.
Come on, everyone. Got fireworks to go to tonight. Got to pay for it. Right. CH just said she needs more coffee. That's fine.
It's fair play. It's a very early start for CH.
Hwang is actually getting tipped by a few people, by the way. I've seen his
name so it could be Gordon. If they vote Gordon, it'll probably be to Hwang, won't it?
Yeah.
So let's close off that poll. We'll do Gordon to Hwang, Watkins to Darwin, and Saka to question mark.
Okay.
Oh, RTJ's in the chat. Hey, RTJ.
Hey, good morning.
RTJ is one of my squad members on my channel. Good to see he's just woken up. RTJ, I'm guessing you're in the States. Let us know where in the world you are. Here we go. Oh, what are you going to vote for here, Dean?
I want this to be simple, so I've gone Watkins to Darwin.
If it's Saka to question mark, another poll will be occurring. Watkins, I thought we said Wilson to Darwin. Oh, we've got to close it, guys. I'm so sorry. We said Wilson to Darwin, didn't we?
Oh, we did.
I think I said Watkins. Guys, if we could close the poll, we'll do it again. We'll do it again. I tell you what, we'll keep Watkins as an option, but we'll do Watkins to Darwin as one option and Wilson to Darwin as another.
Option. Yeah.
Mate, I think that was my fault. I think when I did the recap, I actually said Watkins instead of Wilson.
Well, yeah, that's fine. We've got an idea anyway. People are liking the idea of Darwin clearly, so he's going to be coming in, isn't he?
Oh, Laura wants Saka to Diaby. Look, if you say Saka out, we will give you options of players like Diaby.
Yeah, he wasn't getting a lot of love there when we got our little preview. Mark says this is as tortuous as Man United's transfer.
I remember Mark in the past has said something like, we actually enjoy some FPL chat around here as well. I'm sure Mark has spammed the idea of he hates the section. We do only dedicate the last 10 minutes of Friday's show to the Chaser team, guys. That is a recurring theme. Stay with us to find out the answer to this poll. Wilson to Darwin, Saka to question mark, or Gordon to Hwang. Right, now we just got to do captaincy. Looks like Darwin's going to take that. So with
Darwin
that in mind,
getting in here.
Darwin's a legit captaincy option this week, mate. Legit cap. I think we've got a poll. Salah, Son, Darwin, Alvarez.
Why would you captain Darwin over Salah?
I actually would, because I think the way Luton are going to concede chances is to number 9s down the middle that batter them. Do you remember the Luton Spurs game a few weeks ago when loads of us captained Son and he actually blanked and Spurs went down to 10 men? Basuma got sent off in the end of the first half. But in the first 10, 15 minutes of that football match, Spurs should have been about 4-0 up and Son should have had 3 goal involvements. I think Liverpool will hit them fast in the same way Spurs did, and all the chances will fall to the number 9 Darwin, just like they did for Son.
Okay, Laura, if you're still around, I'd like to hear from you as well. Like, as a Luton fan, who do you fear is going to batter your team more in an FPL sense, Salah or Darwin? Like, you give us a shout on this too, because your view is probably more valuable than anyone's here, because you've actually watched all the Luton games. We've all seen bits and pieces, and I've seen the little. Oh my God, Chris Crimmins with 10 quid in the bank. Tenner.
Mate, that's your fireworks sorted.
That is a little snack at the fireworks tonight, all sorted. Thanks, Chris. He says, not even got a question, just a thank you and some beers at London prices to say thank you for the Haaland differential last week. As always, up the rank squad as well. Yeah, Chris is over with us on Ranks FC. And yeah,
one of your own, mate. One of your own.
Yeah, nice one, Chris. Appreciate the tenner, mate. That will be buying me a nice. Yeah, I could get a nice pint, couldn't I, later on while I'm watching the fireworks? That'd be nice if I can get away with that.
Mulled pint.
A mulled pint. Yeah. I don't like mulled wine. You see, it doesn't really do it for me.
It's so sugary, isn't it? Mulled wine.
Doesn't
mate, I love that, Chris. Thank you. Really appreciate your super chat. Let's do the.
Laura says. Go
on.
Laura says Darwin. She says Darwin because he's very quick on the ball. She thinks that's what's going to be Luton are going to be more susceptible to. So she's given us some insight there, I reckon. I still think Salah, but you've said Darwin and she's said Darwin. Let's see what the vote says.
Mate, I love our producer's top line on this question. The captain this week, let's finish this.
He hates it. He hates the fact we ever even came up with the community team, I think.
Oh, that is gold. Come on, guys, let's finish it. Listen to our producer on this one. And Dean, you were right. Let's ask Laura because she's a Luton fan and watched all their games.
I'm
also like, let's ask Laura because she's clearly a better FPL manager than anyone in the chat, ranked at 1,000 in the world at the moment, and her dad's at 100.
Yeah, we still need to see proof of that, but yeah, absolutely. Well done, Laura. This is tight. Salah's got the edge at the moment.
No, come on, guys. This is the week to go against Salah. I tell you what, let's have a quick look at that graphic. Let's put that graphic on screen and give you the options so we can see some of the stats. I mean, the stats are probably going to point towards Mo Salah, but let's have a look at the stats. We did show you a really nice graphic earlier of all of the captaincy options away from Haaland. This might help your voting. So we can see it on screen. Darwin's got similar number of goals and assists, 47 points. Salah clearing away in terms of points, the best option so far. But Salah played 70 minutes. No, he didn't. He played 90 and he blanked against Bournemouth on Wednesday night. Darwin played 20, came off the bench, scored a worldie. Darwin is flying. He's also nailed, I think, to start this weekend. You can't always say that about Darwin. Could this be the week? And I don't want CH telling me that I'm influencing, but I'm definitely influencing. Could this be the week where Darwin is the captaincy pick? Come on, guys. We need a few more votes. We're at 36%.
You need loads of votes. You ain't swaying
I need a ton, mate. I need a ton.
If
I've swayed that from that 20 seconds, I'll eat my hat.
Let's see. We've got 10 votes left till we get to 100, and it's 42-35 in Salah's favour. I'm not even sure it's possible to sway that back.
I think it's gone down, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, Gets Game says Salah's on pens, Darwin isn't. And that is definitely one of the factors that weighs into me too. Like Salah, Liverpool are tricky inside the box. Luton, they're a bit slow at the back. They're going to leave out a trailing leg. Yeah, Tom Lockyer going to give away.
Oh my God! No way! Come on, Darwin!
Oh my God!
Oh, at 101 votes, he's taken it. Let's close that
off.
Way! That is amazing.
No,
mate, where's that hat? I need to go find a hat to eat now.
No way!
That is unbelievable. Out of nowhere, I saw it at like 80 and then at like 99. There is the Gianni influence. CH isn't happy, is she?
What are you lot doing? You got rid of Haaland last week, and now you're captaining Nunez ahead of Mo Salah, who we've just said earlier on is the second highest goal output in this league across this calendar year by 1 goal behind Haaland. You lot are absolutely mad.
Do not laugh at this, guys. This is the absolute right call. RTJ has said the Gianni guidance. CH is laughing. Let's talk vinyl. Darwin. Nunes bench confirmed. You lot just got sucked in, says G-Wiz. Guys, I genuinely think this is the right call. You guys know I love a captaincy punt. And as a content creator, I don't do them much anymore because you're just there to be shot at. But actually, if I was playing FPL without being like viewed by people and people watching my team and didn't have Haaland this week, genuinely, I promise you, I would be going Darwin over Salah. And even as a content creator, if I didn't have Haaland, I would be going Darwin over Salah. This is a week we can back against Mo Salah. The last 3 weeks, he's been poor and he's had massive FPL returns. He's not playing that well at the moment. Darwin is. It's the right call. Wow. We're going to clip that one up. We're going to clip that one up when Darwin bangs.
I'm so amazed that this has happened, but fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh, mate, I haven't had time for questions. I tell you what, we'll make a conscious effort of having at least a couple of minutes for questions. But on Monday's show, we'll make sure we do lots of questions. There is a Monday night game, Spurs versus Chelsea. So we might have to think about if that's like a Tuesday lunchtime or I don't know.
Monday lunch. Oh, your Tuesday lunch. Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. We have to reschedule.
More reason to hit that notification bell when you subscribe so you know when we're going live next, guys. But yeah, it could be a Tuesday lunchtime or maybe mid. We quite like the midday slot today, didn't we? Yeah,
it's done well.
Yeah, done very well, guys. Good to see you. We will see you all very soon. Thank you for supporting. This team is on a suicide mission, man. This team is having fun. Remember, it's all of yours. It's your second team. So you can have a little bit of fun with your second team. Because you're not allowed a second team in FPL. Yet you can if you're contributing to our Chasers team, which is our producers only team. Yeah. So there we go, team. We're going to say goodbye. We'll see you Monday or Tuesday. But for now, he's been Dean Up and Gianni, and we've been chasing green arrows.